remarks from Silisha Natural Housing. Don't go to the next one.
So she's not here?
Huh?
She's not here?
She's not here. Right?
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Before I begin, let's give a round of applause to the champions of Panorama 2025 Digicel Pan Time for serenading us before this ceremony. Honorable Dr. Ernest Hilaire, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Tourism, Investment, Creative Industries, Culture and Information. Darwin Gard, Chairperson of the Cultural Development Foundation. Former board members, management and staff of the Cultural Development Foundation, Managing Director, St. Lucia Housing Corporation, specially invited guests, Emancipation Creative Committee and stakeholders, ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, and residents of Conway and Baptiste Streets, I bid you a pleasant good evening. I thank you all so much for coming on this Emancipation Eve for the lighting of the two murals that we have behind me here on Baptiste Street and Conway. Now, this is a special celebration because, as you can see in the past year, I think you can ask anybody who's been in Castries, it's as if the city that seems to always be sleeping at night and where there's no light and there's nothing at night, that gradually we've been beginning to see this city come to life, whether it be through lights on other private corporations, on other buildings. And now we are going to give a special place to one of the many murals that has cropped up in our country within the past few years, behind me by Alwyn St. Omer. Now, these murals, they were painted in 2023, but for this year's 2025's Emancipation celebration, we are going to be literally putting them in a new light, and we are going to be enhancing them technologically, so to speak. So these two murals that we have, the first one that we have is Now We Are Free. The mural illustrates symbols of St. Lucia's hauntingly beautiful landscape and the people of our ancestral past, while embracing who we are and celebrating our freedom. And our second mural is Revolution, Emancipation, Celebration. This mural is a representation of revolution, emancipation, and celebration of our African heritage. Our emancipation heroine, Petroni Dwin Negwes Maro, female runaway slave, killed in 1833, death by pillory as a punishment for the act of marriage. And how beautiful is it that all of us can stand here comfortable, free, able to witness the talent of our people that has been allowed to thrive under these lights in memory of these people who had sacrificed everything for that very freedom. And Petroni Dwin, one of the most prominent Maroons in St. Lucia, is depicted on one of these murals. Now, unfortunately, we aren't able to have Miss Petroni Dwin here to give remarks, although surely she would have been on the program if she was, but it is 2025, and we have the technology available to bring her among us in some way. So please listen to this voiceover as the spirit of Miss Petroni Dwin speaks.
I was an enslaved woman who lived on the Fordo estate in the time when people like me was treated as property. In April of 1833, I was killed because I dared to say no to the man who claimed me, Baron du Bocage. He ordered me to work, but I refused. I would not bend to his will not one more time. For that defiance, he put me in the pillory, a wooden frame meant to shame and break me. But I would not be broken. I chose to face death rather than to serve a man who believed he owned my body, my time, my life. He may have claimed my flesh, but he never claimed my spirit. Mwen vlo chanje chwa mwen. Mwen se Petroni Dwin. Mwen mo lib. I want you to remember my choice. I am Petroni Dwin, and I died free.
That is right. They could take our flesh, but they could not take our spirit, and she died free. So let that name echo amongst all of us, Miss Petroni Dwin, one of the many women and men who died for our freedom here in St. Lucia and in the British Caribbean as we all celebrate tomorrow. So despite all of the pomp and circumstance and the day off tomorrow, as we're all so readily awaiting, we have to remember that all of this is because of that sacrifice. So, without further ado, we are going to be welcoming Mr. Mover. All right, so we're very soon we're going to be seeing the mural go up in lights. But first of all, we have some remarks. Yes. Okay. All right. All right, so we're going to be going straight through. We are going to be switching on the lights the moment that we have all been waiting for. And lights up on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Let there be light. Let there be light. Is it on? It's not on. Huh? told the giver.
Chiki, just play a little something as they out there. So we'll invite the chairman and senior to say a few remarks before
So when they finish playing,
it's on here. So he'll just say a few words and then we'll get to vote of thanks.
that was God. So when they finish. All right. Thank you so much once again to Pantime Steel Orchestra for making the occasion so sweet. Now, as we close off, I would like to invite Mr. Darwin God, chairperson of the Cultural Development Foundation, to give some remarks.
Good evening, everybody. I think there was protocol that I have to adopt, but let me acknowledge the presence of the Minister, Dr. Ernest Tilley. This evening for us is one where we recognize who we are as a people in terms of our identity, and doing that through culture for us is something extremely important. Last year we had the Last year we had the opportunity of unveiling the two murals, and this year we like them. I want to acknowledge also the presence of Luigi Santoma, the brother of Alwyn Santoma, who played a big part in producing the murals that we did. This year's theme is important in terms of knowing where you're coming from to know your future. one of the emphasis that we want to place this year is not only dwelling in our past, but understanding where we come from to know exactly where it is and what we want to do. The CDF, through Drina's creativity, and I want to thank Drina for organizing this, focused on what are we going to do as a people with our past. Meaning, how do we take the spirit of the likes of Maroon Dween and all of those who sacrificed their lives for us. I need to say this, though, from my perspective. Emancipation is the way we live our lives every day. It is not just a historical research. It's not always going back to understand what we did then, but it's how we live our lives today and how we take those spirits who sacrificed for us in those years and what we do with it this year. How we live our lives. You know, when I listen to some of the not so positive things, for example, how we treat our brothers, how we develop, how we move forward economically, how do we present ourselves in terms of the growth of the nation, is for us what CDF is trying to do this time around. How do we take the past and develop the nation today? All of us have our roles to play, whether it be government through the minister, whether it be for the CDF and our role in development and training, whether it be you, the individual, every day at St. Lucian, being proud individuals of who you are, carrying the legacy of this country forward. So as we celebrate and as we light these memories, it is not just a mural, but it is a reminder of the sacrifices made for us to be the sovereign nation that we are today. So I want to thank all the organizers, all of you who came out today. I want to thank the minister for his presence. I want to thank my team at the CDF. And also I would like to thank the Prime Minister, who in his inaugural coming into government, made it a priority that emancipation be celebrated in a way that St. Lucians understand who they are in moving forward. Without his vision and his indulgence, I don't think we would have this kind of a celebration. So in his absence, I would like to thank the Prime Minister. And I want to, again, remind all of you that the murals and emancipation is not just a celebration of remembrance, but is our living today. Thank you so much.
Truer words never spoken. Thank you so much, Mr. God. And for our final closing vote of thanks, I welcome Ms. Drina Frederick, Creative Director at the Cultural Development Foundation.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to start with the protocol that's already established and simply say, on behalf of the Cultural Development Foundation, we would like to thank our minister for his tremendous support, Dr. Ernest Hilaire, the chairman of the CDF board, for his vision and taking CDF to a new level. I would like to thank our sponsor, Energize. I think they deserve a round of applause, these lights. And Lucelec for really championing the cause. Thank you. We'd like to thank the National Housing Corporation of St. Lucia for all of their support and being a tremendous collaborator with putting up those murals and now the lights. Thank you. And thank you to your staff for being here today. We would like to thank both our visual artists and the teams who worked on these murals, and to represent Alwyn, Luigi is here today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming. And to the Steel Pan Time, thank you for being here and being part of this occasion. And to the CDF staff and to everyone, and to the community of Baptiste Street, all of the neighbors, I know you can hear me. Thank you for your support, and especially for today asking you to leave your lights off. Thank you, thank you. Thank you to everyone, and you look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow, Emancipation Day. The parade starts at 4 p.m. from Serenity Park into the boulevard, and we will have a concert. Our Prime Minister will speak. So let's come out and enjoy the day tomorrow. Thank you for being part of this process.
Thank you so much, Ms. Frederick. And finally, once again, thank you to all of you for coming out. And thank you so much to Lucilec Pantime for serenading us once again. Thank you to Lucilec, our sponsor. Thank you to our artists and everybody who was able to make this part of our Emancipation Day calendar happen. So thank you once again, and have a happy Emancipation Day. Have a good evening and get home safe.